Hyperlight Drifter is a beautiful, vibrant indie game that first sparked to life on Kickstarter back in 2016, and honestly, it doesn't take long to see why it's built such a loyal cult-like following. I actually found out about the game through the Indie Cross YouTube series. Something about the cloak-wearing, sword-swinging drifter just stuck with me. So I finally sat down and played it for myself, and let me tell you, this game has grit. Now let's see just how well it stacks up. Was it fun to play? At first, no, not really. The game kind of shoved me into the deep end. The controls felt weird, nothing was clicking, and I was just sort of vibing in this weird delusion confusion. But I was determined to stick it out and get the hang of things. Once I took a deep breath, it was like flipping on a switch. Dash slash pop boom, it all started flowing. That being said, the level design is a maze. Not the fun get lost in the wonder kind of maze, more like where the hell am I and how did I end up back at the start kind of maze. But even with all that, once the mechanics land, it feels amazing. It's like learning a new language that only you and the game speak. Fun factor is going to be a 7 out of 10. You remember that boom pop dash slash? Yeah, that's your toolkit. The world is cryptic, strange, and oddly satisfying to explore. I kept finding myself stuck, wandering only to stumble into a new fight or secret path. And whenever I thought I'd mastered a section, I'd get sniped by some random enemy and have to redo it. But I loved that. The game didn't hold my hand. It let me fail a lot, but rewarded me just as often. And by the time I finished, I already wanted to dive back into it and find all the weird, wonderful stuff I missed. The gameplay is going to be a 8 out of 10. Okay, real talk. The controls were my biggest hurdle. I started on controller and it felt wrong. It was like eating soup with a fork. But the second I swapped to mouse and keyboard, everything started to click. Suddenly I wasn't fumbling through fights, I was lying. For me, it wasn't a deal breaker, but if you're feeling off during your first hour of playing the game, try switching things up. It made a huge difference for me. The controls are going to be a 7 out of 10. The story wasn't really told, it was more felt. It's just you, some ancient ruins, a bunch of towering giants, and a heavy sense that the world is about to end. The game never spells anything out. Instead, it gives you pieces, cutscenes, environments, strange symbols, and lets you glue them together with your own brain. It's minimal but not empty. The mystery lingers long after the credits roll, and that's kind of beautiful. This game was a masterclass in environmental storytelling. I would rank the story a 7 out of 10. This game begs for a second run, not because of branching dialogue or multiple endings. No, it's the secrets. Every corner of the map has something tucked away, hidden upgrade currency, weird symbols, keys, and stuff I have no clue about. There is no bloated dialogue or grindy systems. It's super easy to jump in and just play. Pure, clean exploration. Love it. That's a 10 out of 10 right there. That is a 10 out of 10. Ruh-roh. Don't let the 16-bit art fool you. This game wants you to suffer just a little. At first, I thought the combat was the hard part. Turns out it was me. I wasn't really reading the context clues. I was just charging in and dying like an absolute clown. But once I actually started to pay attention to the combat, things started to click. The real difficulty for me then came from the exploration. Trying to figure out where you are, where you're going, and what mysterious symbol on the wall actually means. Be ready to die like a tourist in a country that you have no idea what the signs say. Difficulty is going to be a 9 out of 10. The soundtrack is ambient, electronic, and haunting in the best way. It never tried to steal the spotlight, but it set the mood so well you didn't even notice it until it was gone. The world sounds hollow, mechanical, and just barely hanging on to hope. The sound effects lean hard onto the robotic tones, and somehow they blend into the music like they're part of the score. Nothing felt out of place, and the result was this eerie, beautiful atmosphere that stuck with me. very subtle, intentional, and emotional. The sound design is going to rank as an 8 out of 10. This game has great pacing when you're actually paying attention. Me, I was too busy mulling over every death to notice the game was dropping hints like breadcrumbs. But once I slowed down, followed the signs, and stopped trying to brute force every fight, the level design started to sing. It never felt rushed, but it also never dragged on too far. That balance is very difficult to pull off, and Hyperlight nails it. The pacing is a 9 out of 10. Look. I used to think better graphics equaled a better game, but this one, it proves that pixel art can hit hard. Hyperlight Drifter's 16-bit style doesn't just look good, it feels deliberate. Every zone has its own vibe. The colors, the background, the animations, they all work together to show you a world that's barely holding on. This game reminds me of classic Zelda in the best way, with a modern polish. No fluff, just style with purpose. This game's art style is an 8 out of 10. Hyperlight Drifter doesn't define the genre it's in. It's not reinventing the wheel, but what it does very well. The mechanics are tight, the level design is sharp, the world is dense with secrets. It's clear the devs focused on nailing the core experience instead of stacking on gimmicks. Sometimes that's just a smarter call to make. The innovation is going to be a 7 out of 10. Hyperlight Drifter isn't perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It's confident, challenging, and packed with personality. There's a sense of love behind every pixel, and once the mechanics lock in, it becomes hard to put down. If you like action RPGs with a little mystery, a lot of mood, and just enough what the hell is going on, then do yourself a favor and play this game. You'll probably walk away feeling like you experienced something, not just playing it. This game scores a whopping 80 out of 100. This is a must-play game. Go try it for yourself.